This is Norris Richardson, age 39. He was found hanging by a rope dead at an abandoned house in Colbert County on September the 28th of 2024. Norris Richardson, he had filed a federal lawsuit against the Sheffield police officers alleging police brutality. The Norris civil rights attorney Roderick Van Daniel, who also represented Richardson in a federal lawsuit, has called for a federal investigation of what he says is a suspicious death. The FBI have stated that we cannot deny or confirm the existence of any investigation. Colbert County Sheriff Eric Ballantyne said his office has investigated and they ruled the death as a S-side. We received a call of a suspicious vehicle at the residence on Highway 72 on the west side of Colbert County. When our deputies got down to investigate the suspicious vehicle, they located Mr. Richardson. He was hanging from a beam on the car part. His wife, Mrs. Richardson, said she is absolutely convinced it is not an S-side. I need answers. This was made to look like an S-side. It is not an S-side. She said that Richardson had been repeatedly arrested, beaten, and harassed by Sheffield police officers who said they would drop charges against him if he would drop the federal lawsuit. He repeatedly refused, she said. They harassed him his whole life. So Richardson filed a lawsuit on February the 26th against several Sheffield police officers, including Sheffield Police Lieutenant Max Dawson. Dawson was fired for a separate incident after he was found guilty of a December 2022 assault against another black man while off duty. So Dawson, 4 other officers, and Police Chief Ricky Terry were named in the lawsuit as taking part of Sheffield Mayor Steve Stanley said, I have preached repeatedly that everyone we encounter, whether they have committed a crime or not, deserves respect and humane treatment. So somewhere between the mayor, the sheriff, it seems like a cover-up. It seems like they're trying to tuck their tails and cover a lot of things up. If this man filed a lawsuit because y'all was doing criminal things to him while he was in cuffs, by punching him, tasing him, and etc. This is Javion Magee, age 21, a truck driver from Chicago area who was found dead on September 11th. Now, officers said this young man was found with a rope just tied around his neck. He was not hanging from a tree, nothing like that. He was just laying on the ground. So they said, oh, he did this to himself. They also put up the clip of him going to Walmart to purchase the rope. So the sheriff says Magee was reportedly making a delivery to the Walmart center, and they said at least 5 cameras captured him walking into the store, purchasing the rope, walking out. They give a description of what he's wearing. And then they say further footage shows Magee leaving the store, stopping and stepping out of his truck to give a homeless person what was later described as $228. Now, I never heard of that part. I'm doing research on this story now because of the previous story that I just spoke on, okay? They said an interview revealed he told a person, I don't know how much it is, but if I had more, I would give it to you. And that's it. So on September the 11th, according to a report, Vance County 911 received a call from the owner of T&R Truck Repair saying he found a man with a rope around his neck on the outside of the fence on Vacuum Mill Road. The caller stated that the man was not breathing and appeared died by S-side. Okay. Now his mother reached out. They wouldn't let her see the body. They talking about some COVID. And I feel like they failed to let the mother see her son's body because I feel like it was some type of altercation, like bruising. It was evidence. That's what I feel. Detectives said they could see that the victim had a rope around his neck a total of 11 times. So he basically tied the rope around his neck 11 times, and the other end of the rope was wrapped around a tree branch. So in the clipping, the sheriff, the detective, has stated that no, it's not a hanging, it's not a lynching. But they said the rope was tight. The victim was in a seated position with his legs extended out and his left foot crossed over his right foot. Tell me, how do that make sense to you? How could that possibly make sense to anyone? My heart breaks for his mother, his family, his friends, because this story has so many holes in it. Need I remind you, he just received his CDLs, if I'm not mistaken, June of this year. He just received his CDLs June of this year. Now, a lot of people saying he was parked in an area that he had no business being in. So I'm not sure about that, but that's something that's been going around since that incident took place. Now, I will say this about the South. It is a lot of places where they call them sundown areas, where if you are an African American, such as myself, you don't need to be there at a certain period of time. When the sun go down, you need to not be in that area whatsoever, because it's not safe at all. Okay, places like this still do exist. Whether people try to shield it or ignore it or overlook it, they still do exist. Okay. When it comes to Mr. Magee, age 21, and this took place in North Carolina, I do feel that this story and this incident, something is not adding up. It's not connecting the dots for me. I feel like it's too many holes in the story. It doesn't make sense, but a lot of people feel that he was robbed and etc. Okay, now when it comes to Mr. Richardson, age 39 in Alabama, ooh, honey, I feel like, when you have bigots and they're so cocky and they're so racist, right? They cannot take an African American man or woman refusing to back down, right? You have rights and you can stand on your rights however long you want to. But a lot of people who are bigots, who are racist, who only see their right and they feel that other people are just trash, right? They cannot accept an African American man standing up for himself. And if this been going on for years, and then you also had an officer to lose his job for him attacking an African American man, and this same man was included in this young man, Mr. Richardson, lawsuit. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about both of these stories. I just really feel that this ish will never stop. It will continue to go over another generation and roll over to another. It's sickening. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. And I feel that until we stand our ground, until we stand up for what's right, things like this will continue to happen and be swept under the rug. And we will never get justice. That's all I have for you in this clip. Please protect your energy and peace by all costs.